Good morning and welcome to KBCVlog's vlog series. We're continuing with reading between the lines, and today we're looking at some verses from Matthew 6, and this is where Jesus is talking about our treasure, and he says that where our treasure is, that's where our heart is. And he could have said this lots of different ways. Our author goes to tell us. I suppose there's two ways of thinking about this. So what's our treasure and what's our heart as well. So if we're thinking about what's our heart, so the Bible often talks about our heart, and it's not just the things we say we love as such. It's more our minds, our desires, our everything that's occupying our minds. So it's kind of like our attention, or something that we focus on. I looked it up this morning, and it was talking about what we worship, and so it's a very intense or deep meaning, this word of heart. And then also it went, so I looked at the word treasure up, and obviously when I think of the word treasure, I think of a treasure chest and gold, a treasure island, or a treasure hunt. And essentially it just means anything that is of great value, and obviously we give that thing the great value. And that's obviously the danger in the Western world, is that we treasure so many things, and we're enticed and encouraged to treasure so many things by social media, and that's entirely what they're trying to do, to sell us an idea of the treasure they have to sell us is the treasure that we need, that's going to solve everything in our life and in the future. So when we think of that, it might not only just be the treasure of physical things. When I was looking at this, it's also the treasure of our attention. So what we give our attention to, and our minds are so competing to give things attention at home, our family, our work, our interests, or anything else that needs attending to, just in life general. So life admin stuff, banking, looking after the car, looking after vehicles, looking at bikes, looking after whatever we own. So these are our treasures because we tend to them. But also there's our attention, and that's a massive thing that's competing for in global things like marketing and things like that, because they're just trying to grab our attention in order for them to sell us things. And this is part of what Jesus is saying, is that whatever we give our full attention to, that's where our heart will be. I see it so easily in myself. So when I spend a lot of time, me particularly, is whichever sport I'm particularly keen on at the time. Not that I've got many sports, but say cycling or running. So whatever I start to focus on more, is the more I start focusing on it. It's kind of self-perpetuating, and because that's where my heart is. And Jesus talks the treasure thing, that it's, our author talks about this as what we invest in. So not just money, but time and attention. I'd like to pitch that's what my commodity is these days, is our attention. And social media, Instagram, all those things, they're grabbing our attention with pictures, and then they're trying to sell us something with all the adverts that they bombard us with endlessly on any social media platform. So essentially that it's what we need to focus on is, obviously the treasure is the love of Christ and God and the Word of God, and the more we treasure that, that's where our heart would be, and then that's would self-perpetuate. So, and our author says as well that all the worldly treasure that we've got, all these things, our cars, houses, all the money, or everything, that eventually all that will fall apart, and the only lasting treasure is that treasure in heaven. And as much as it might sound as a cliche that, oh, you'll get your reward in heaven, but no, that is where the ultimate reward is where that's where there's no moth or rust to destroy the treasure that you've put up there, because it's endless, it goes on forever. And these things are like the fruits of the spirit. So when we've been kind to someone, when we've loved someone, Christ says, you've did it for the one you do for all of these, you do for me. And that's what that's building our treasure in heaven, and that's where the gold is, and that's where ultimately that's where we should be investing all our treasure, and that's where our heart will be. So that's all I've got for you today, everyone, and I hope you have a great day. And just think to ourselves, me as well, is where is our treasure and what are we focusing on, and is our heart more there than where it might be better placed. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.